Hey everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. I haven't done one of these for a while, but I'm not sure if I'd even classify this as one of those Dear Abby for traders. But got a question from here. I'm a regular reader of your blogs. Has helped me preparing myself as an HFT developer. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for following. I appreciate it. Response is followed by here. I am looking for pointers on how to reduce noise from tick-by-tick data, generic ways, so what I can avoid false order generation for arbitrage, moving average. This is what I said: move an average, reduce time frame, or lengthen it, or even use regression. I would appreciate if you can provide. Oh, we've already done that. So yeah, this is one way. Obviously, it's not the most intelligent answer. We came back with here, but using moving averages and regression and live market feed for HFT purposes will add delay, hence in my opinion cannot be used. Can we have any ways to avoid big ask bounces? I'm not sure if this is the right term in the context. Well, I'm not sure either, but let's check out some stuff. If you go to my blog lately, there's two areas I want you to pay particular attention to. First, let's talk about machine learning. I was never a big fan of machine learning until a week ago. Reason being is, in here I've put up some articles on machine learning, and let me just do it. This might be the article I'm looking for. So, is this it? Yes, this is the article. Quantopian had this talk about a month ago in their QuantCon. Machine learning approach by Michael Kearns. Very impressive, which is really turned my approach on machine learning when it comes to trading, especially in live trading environments, namely in execution. So in this video he'll talk about routing orders through dark pools, and also I like to call it manipulating or dancing on the order book. So this is where machine learning takes place. So that is one area that may help you. Also, I've put up some articles from Ernie Chan on his view of it. And some of the other articles I've looked at, specifically this one, which will highlight some of the newbie approaches, high-level introduction to machine learning. This guy's awesome. Siraj, can't remember his last name, but he's really good. But he's been pumping out some really good stuff on genetic algorithms and predicting stock prices. Very basic stuff, but really give an amazing foundation on machine learning. So you may want to check that out if you're new to machine learning. Okay, so that's all fine and good. TensorFlow is the other area he talks about as well, this Siraj dude. But this is where the interesting part is. With the new latest developments from Redis 4, as you know, I've been following this database for quite a long time, and I absolutely love the new features in it. But what I've done was I've highlighted a few videos that may be very useful for people. Redis has done a few things through Redis Labs, but because Redis 4 is the core of it is still open source, thankfully, from this guy Salvatore Sanfilippo. If I got that wrong, my apologies. But what they've done is they've added a new major feature called modules. So you can keep the core and build on top of the core version of Redis, and keep the version of Redis small and minimalistic. So you want to add new features on top of Redis. All you do is just take the functionality you want and use that module that will sit on top of your core database engine, obviously in Redis. The two areas that I'm very interested in is two specifics: Redis ML and Redis Graph. First, the reason I like Redis Graph is just due to the fact that a lot of people don't know this, but I've done my research and I've kind of we'll just leave it at this. I've talked to some insiders at the following bank, Goldman Sachs. They've had across the board, across their enterprise, an internal database called SecDB. Slang, their proprietary language, is built around it. And what it is, it's a database that's across the enterprise. So any person that wants to put a trade into Goldman Sachs, the enterprise, it has to be approved through the SecDB internal database, as well as all the risk metrics that are met that are driven through the database. And that's a SecDB on top of using Slang to be able to talk to it. But they've come about now over the last while to build Python libraries to talk to it, to keep their staff employed at Goldman, because the idea at Goldman, a lot of people are unhappy because they're not able to keep on top of the latest technologies. So they're now adopting Python and building their own packages built for around this SecDB. So knowing that SecDB is basically a graph database. And if you watch this database to understand how graph and kind of like binary trees are built, and now you have the capability of using Redis in memory, being able to use that technology and the methodologies of graphs, it opens up a whole different level of looking at how you can approach trading and trading solutions. Another big area that I'm really excited about is Redis ML, which is a totally separate module as well, built around machine learning. So here in this chart, you can see linear regression can be used, logistic regression, matrix and vector operation, which is pretty well low-level mathematical approach to quant techniques. So when you combine this video I've shown earlier from QuantCon, wherever it's at, this one here from Michael Kearns, and be able to build something using that same approach, using this Redis, you can do that. So then of course you can deploy your Redis enterprise through Docker as well, which is a kind of ingenious way to build out independent self-contained containers using using Docker. So today, being a user of YouTube obviously will suggest a lot of videos. This one came up, Redis Lewis scripts debugger. So there's been a lot of movement over the last 3 months since March with what Redis, the database, the ecosystem, and blah, blah, blah. It's really blown up. And I'm starting to think, if you look in here, man, I'm starting to think your trading strategy should be built through Redis for modules like Graph or Neural Net. And I say that with a lot of hope, I guess. And I really feel because there's been a lot of questions that people want to get high frequency trading performance. Now, Redis Labs, I'll give you an example, have built out their clusters using Redis 3 on flash memory, because this database is so small it can be embedded into devices. So that means if you're able to take this database, build out a embeddable database cluster sitting on top of flash memory, you've got yourself probably the fastest database you can get. So with that in mind, I'll give you an example of some of the performance on Redis Labs. If you go to Redis Labs, I don't know exactly where, but if you go Redis Labs flash for TPS, which is transactions per second, you will find probably some better examples of it, and the performance is supposed to be really, really fast. So I mean, and again, if you build out your own solutions, it makes me wonder, maybe, just maybe, You can do that sitting on top of flash memory using Redis, which is in C, which is a good language for obviously embedding. Well, it's either C or a machine language or assembler, really. And then on top of that, using Lua or another C interpretation, you could probably build some interesting, I won't call them trading strategies, but building trading filters that would push data through, your market data through that, and be able to build out really their filters and maybe other trading strategies using a combination of these new modules or other Lua scripts that sit on top of Redis in the instance of Redis. And at the same time, you can build clusters with both failover and redundancy in Redis, embedded, in memory, on flash, with amazing performance. So that's why I'm starting to think that maybe this is a new approach to do it, and basically use Python as a way to push the data into the cluster. Python scripts, that's what I'm doing now and have been doing for the last year or so. Basically pushing Python into, or data into Redis with Python, and then have Redis do a lot of the number crunching and then spit out the trading signals if I want to go to that level of speed using Redis with the filters or trading strategy, or just basically we'll call it trading logic / trading rules on embeddable on the Redis instance or cluster. Something I'm thinking about. Let me know what you think of this. I'm interested in comments. Hopefully I can get it through either Facebook or YouTube itself, and maybe LinkedIn, because I'll post this on my LinkedIn. But I'm very curious to see what people think about that. And I'll provide all the links I've got here. Okay, over and out. Later.